The festival atmosphere in Istanbul in the early 20th century. During the Ottoman period, Eid al-Adha in Istanbul was not merely a religious observance. It was also a major spiritual gathering that shaped the city's social life, neighborhood culture and traditions. Particularly in early 20th century Istanbul, the days of the festival took on a completely different atmosphere from the morning call to prayer until nightfall. The city's major mosques, notably the Sultan Ahmed Mosque, the Süleymaniye Mosque and the Ayub Sultan Mosque, would be packed from the early hours of the morning. The takbir chants rising from the minarets before the Eid prayer echoed through Istanbul's narrow streets. The people flocked to the mosques in their new clothes. In Istanbul of that era, animals for sacrifice were brought into the city days in advance. Temporary livestock markets were set up, particularly in the Davutpaşa and Fatih districts, the hills of Ayub, and the city's outlying neighborhoods. Sellers would adorn the animals they had brought from Anatolia, Thrace and Rumelia. They would tie colored strings around their necks, and sometimes small amulets. The meat culture of the people of Istanbul was also quite different from today's. In Ottoman Istanbul, the meat most commonly consumed in daily life was sheep meat, known as kuzu. Regardless of whether the sheep were male or female, the meat of small ruminants formed the basis of meals. Beef, however, was not common in the Istanbul kitchen. It was used more in military kitchens, large soup kitchens, or for certain special needs. For this reason, when the term Eid al-Adha was mentioned, the first animals that came to mind for the people of Istanbul were sheep and rams. On the morning of the festival, the slaughtering of the animals usually took place in the streets between neighborhoods, in courtyards or in the gardens of mansions. Prayers were recited during the slaughter, whilst children watched on with curiosity. Neighbors helped one another. The meat was shared not only within the family, but also with the poor and the local community. Indeed, one of the most important aspects of the sacrifice in Ottoman society was the culture of sharing. After the festival, the streets of Istanbul took on a completely different vibrancy. Children collected pocket money, the fronts of shops selling sweets and acai candy were crowded, and festival conversations took place in coffee houses. Family outings were organized, particularly along the shores of the Bosphorus and in recreational areas. People sought to experience the peace of the festival together. In early 20th century Istanbul, Eid al-Adha was a time when, alongside religious obligation, the spirit of neighborhood solidarity, Ottoman elegance and traditional urban life were felt most strongly. The sounds of the takbir, the melodies of the ney, crowds walking along the cobbled streets and the bustle of the sacrificial markets. All these elements formed the unforgettable Eid scenes of old Istanbul. Today, the most enduring legacy of that era is the spirit of sharing and celebrating the festival together.